Fecal smearing with autistic children. How to keep it from happening again. This problem is widespread throughout the autistic community. I would bet that 80 to 90% of all ASD children have done it at least one time, some more times than the parent can count. This can be one of the most frustrating things you can be exposed to as a parent of an ASD child. Although there are many reasons professionals say they do this, but there is one thing for sure, they do it, and you're reading this because you want it to stop. Well, the only person that can stop this is you, the parent or guardian of this autistic child. I'm a father of an extreme ASD child, so when you read my letters, you will know it is coming not from a doctor with a stamp on a piece of paper, but from someone that has lived and is living through this very problem. I have tried several things to keep our child from smearing his poop, and I have found that the only time that our child smears his poop is when he is starving for sensory input. For the parents that have autistic children that are nonverbal, this problem is way more commonplace within the homes of these children. The reason is they are unable to tell you they have to go to the bathroom. And in most of these cases, they really don't even care anyway. Some of these children will be in diapers for several years because of this. If you want it to stop, you will need to change your entire lifestyle. And for some, this is not a very good answer. In fact, for most, this is one of the most frustrating answers to hear. Because you have no life of your own anymore. Because it's all about the ASD child. You must dedicate all your time to this child. There is no time to clean. There's no time to sit and relax. There is no time for that movie you want to watch or even that weekly TV show. There is just no time. Number 1, you need help. 2, you need to come to terms with your new life with your autistic child. Unless you're one of the lucky ones that has deep pockets and can afford all the best care for him or her. Most people don't, and I am one of them. So I have come up with many ways to keep this from happening. When I need some time alone, I say this because my wife is bipolar on top of it all, so my stress levels are off the charts some days, especially when she's having one of those I don't give a crap about anything days. So how to keep it from happening again? This will be the key to clean walls, beds, and your child. Look in on them frequently. Do not leave them alone for any more than a couple minutes at a time. Pay close attention to their bowel movements and the times, because this will save you in the long run from having yet another poop mess to clean. And we all know, at least the ones that go through this, it's not a very fun task to have to repeat over and over again. In fact, it gets so frustrating, sometimes you just want to scream. Pay attention to their attitude each day and learn to read their emotions. This will save you more times than you will ever know. What I mean by this statement is, know when your child needs sensory input. This is something you can learn to read after a period of time. In most cases, they will have an uncontrollable energy about them, flapping, running, screaming, grunting, spitting. All these things can tell you their sensory input needs need to be met ASAP. If you put them in their room when these things are happening, you might as well get the bleach and water ready because you are going to have a poop mess to clean in a few minutes. You cannot run from their needs of sensory input. Plain and simple. You have to buck up and deal with it. Physical things you can do. You can do when you absolutely need some time alone. First and foremost, you need to modify their bedroom to be almost indestructible, or you will be paying a whole hell of a lot more money having repairs done to the drywall, light fixtures, windows, wall sockets, than if you just do the modifications. You have to find a way to board up the windows. In case of an emergency, the rescue crews can get in, but he can't get out, or possibly break the window and seriously injure or even kill him or herself on the broken glass. There is plexiglass, fiberglass, and smooth-coated wood you can use to cover the walls with. You will need to find a light fixture cover to keep the child from throwing toys at it and breaking it. You will need to cover the closet so they can't climb up into it and possibly hurt themselves. Last but not least, you will need to get one of those reinforced half doors with the top part having a strong plexiglass window installed in it so you can look in on them, or have a video system installed so you can monitor them as well. Be careful though. These things can be destroyed by your child with one direct hit from a flying toy. The task of keeping their clothing on when they don't want to wear clothes. This is one of the hardest things to deal with. Most autistic children don't like the feeling excuse me, of clothes on them, and this happens again when they are in need of massive sensory input. Duct tape. This is your best friend. Works for the most part for the first couple years until they figure it out. There is one thing you can be sure of, and that is there is no person on this planet that has more determination than an autistic child. Your ASD child will continue to work on a project until it is completely done, and that means removing their clothing no matter what you do. So you really need to learn the steps on keeping their clothing on. Jumpsuits, or the onesies that have zippers. You must learn to put the zipper in the back, but remember, if it's too loose, they will take it off by stretching out the neck of the jumpsuit. They sometimes rub their back on the wall until they get the zipper down far enough to take off the clothing. You must duct tape the diaper on. Then you must put some shorts on and duct tape that. Then you put on the onesie and duct tape the waistline, not on the stomach. This can cause intestinal problems, so make sure it's on their waist. Then duct tape the zipper on the top of the outfit. This will keep the child from unzipping the suit. But remember, the outfit has to be snug. Last but not least, before you do this, make sure to cut the feet off the onesie, or the child will have leverage to pull it down. This may seem a bit extreme, but believe me, I know from experience how to do these things. It's a real task taking off all the tape. But I would rather do that than to have to clean crap off my child's walls, bed, and everywhere else they can smear it. Just remember this one thing. All they want is to feel their sensory needs. You must help them with this. But by bear hugs and other ways of pressure, using a bristle brush or their arms and legs works as well. Just rub it on their arms or legs or their back. A light scratching on their back works. If you have a boy, give them a buzz haircut. If you rub their head the opposite of the hair growth, that gives them their sensory needs as well. Monitor them while they're playing with clay, silly putty, slime, or even finger paints. Shoot, make a mud pit outside and let them play in the mud. It's a lot easier to spray them off with the hose when they have mud on them than it is to clean crap off everything in your house. I hope this article helps you in your times of stress. Dealing with an autistic child is not something we ask for, but try and understand. You are not going through it alone. One more very important thing you need to understand: your ASD child is living the hell that you have to deal with. You have it bad, but these poor kids have 1,000 times worse because they are living it day in and day out. The most important thing you can do is have patience. And most of all, love your child. Love, love, love your child. Look for the next video on how to help your child through the sensory need times. Thank you for watching, and remember, you're dealing with an autistic child, but the child is living the hell you're dealing with. Love your child. He or she is worth it.